long ago, stood these two sisters, Shan, which is known as Mount Baker. Mount Baker and Mount Rainier used to live right here. Oh, they were just beautiful sisters. Pretty soon they started noticing this handsome man. His name was Rocky. But he fell in love with Mount Baker. And Mount Baker's sister got really mad and she lifted her roots up out of the ground. And she went south. And when she went, she took a lot of the plants with her. Lots of the animals. Mount Rainier. And Rocky and Mount Baker, they married. And they had 2 children called the twin sisters. And they were stayed here and they said they'd watch over our land and take care of us Indian people forever. And as long as one of them stood, that we'd always be safe here. That we'd always have what we needed to live off the land from. That the salmon would always come. That the berries would come every spring. That the trees would keep producing and the medicine people would keep on making new medicines to take care of the new diseases that we're getting. Then one day, something from the heavens hit Mother Earth. And it shook Mother Earth so violently that Rocky fell over. And where he lays today, they call him the Rocky Mountains. Rocky Mountain Range. In Mount Rainier, every once in a while, she gets really jealous. And she'll pull the clouds down and she'll peek and see if her sister and her 2 children are still standing up here. And she'll peek, and when she sees that that's happening, she'll pull the clouds back over her head so she can't look. She always keeps the clouds over her head so she can't be looking up this way and seeing the twin sisters in Mount Baker. So you see over here is the beginning of the the Rocky Mountain Range. In these mountains, they're not, a door don't shut somebody out. It only shuts you in if you slam a door. In these mountains, they're like that. They're like a door. They don't shut us in or out. They're just there as a protector for us. If there was no mountains, we'd have straight winds right off the plains. By the time they got here, they'd be blowing so hard. But the mountains and the timber damper it and slow it down. So by the time we get here, it's like this. It's a gentle breeze, carrying songs on the wind of the standing people. If you listen with your heart, you can hear the timber talking to one another. If you listen with your third ear, you can hear the medicine people talking with one another. This breeze is blowing, you can see it on these medicine plants. A gentle breeze. It's not blowing me off from the log, it's touching me softly. And its words are soft, and they're soothing, and they're healing. And you sit here in the sun, so nice. And everything's free here. It's just like the light from the sun. The light from the sun don't cost nothing. It's free. But we're never satisfied. We have to go to the spawning bed of the salmon. There we go and we take the rocks and we make glass for our cups. We go there and we put dams across to make electricity. If you fly around in airplanes, you pull into cities late at night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know that almost everybody there should be asleep. But all the city lights are on. Why? Because it's there. Why are the lights on? You fly in an airplane and it looks like they're having a big party going on. And you touch down in the plane and there ain't nobody there. They're all in bed. But here's all the stores all lit up. Their signs all flashing and nobody even around. But man's wasteful. He said there's no end. We can use all the electricity we want. There's lots of water to make it from. There's no end to the glass so the kids don't take care of their cups and glasses and breakable stuff. A long time ago they used to keep it way toward the center of the table so it wouldn't fall down and break. Now it just falls off the edge and break. They go downtown and buy another one. We're wasteful with all of our stuff. So these mountains, they don't shut us in or out. They're just here protecting us. And that's the way a door is supposed to be. It's not to keep my brothers and sisters out, and it's not to keep me in. It's only there as a protection from the environment at nighttime, so that these bugs can't come in and bite me while I'm sleeping, and so that animals can't come in and eat my food while I'm asleep. Yeah. This place here, you can come by yourself, or you can come with a whole bunch of people and sit here. And once you get in the same mood as one another, you can hear things all at the same time. You can actually sit here and meditate so long that you can leave yourself. And people do it all the time, but they don't realize it. They get someplace and they say, gee, seems like I've been here before. I know this place. I don't know how come I know it, but I know it. They've been there before. They drive down a road and they come around a real sharp corner and they step on their brake. And they come around a corner and there's a bad wreck. They didn't know that wreck was there, but they stepped on their brake before they got to it. If they didn't hit their brake, they'd have been involved in the accident. But they've been ahead of themselves. It's not their time. They've been ahead of themselves. At one time, human beings could do all this stuff. But then we went to school and they told us we can't. And we listened to them. So we can't. We can't travel no more like we used to. At one time, human beings used to sit around and they could talk without making noise. Now we have to make lots of racket to hear one another. But we can't do that no more because we were told we can't in school. At one time in school, 1 and 1 was 2. 2 and 2 was 4. And on and on. But they had to complicate it because if they didn't, we wouldn't send our kids to school. We would keep them home and teach them what we already learned. So now they made it algebra. So that, because we don't know that. Now my kids know algebra and they're grown up. They got kids in school. So they changed it to physics. So that my kids don't know what it is. My grandkids know what physics is. You go to kindergarten and there's little kids sitting there working on a computer. In kindergarten. Fast world. And say up here it's not complicated. You come up here and you sit and you fast and meditate. Maybe you'll sit up here in the snow and pray and meditate up here and fast. In here will come something and it'll say, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. And you say, I sat up here in the snow for this. That's not even complicated. We think everything's got to be complicated in order to be right, because that's the way we're taught. But that little saying is true. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, by God, you are right. You can never do it. And it's really the truth. All the things we used to hear from our grandparents when we were growing up. I remember when we were children, my grandma used to grab me right here and she'd say, this is all this is for. Be jerked around with. This is the one you listen with. These ones up here for older people to grab you when you're being bad. If you were meant to speak more than you were to listen, the Creator would have given us 2 mouths instead of 2 ears. We're supposed to listen twice as hard. And this is about the only place I know of where you can come. You can sit here and you can look across at the home of the mountain goat people. You can sit here and you can look across at the glacier over here in the mountain. Or at the old growth forest right across here, 1/4 mile from me. You can sit here and look at all these different things and listen with your 3rd ear. And you can hear songs on the wind. You can hear many voices being talked. And simple things being taught. And when you sit down and think about all the things that they're saying, it all boils down to one thing. They're looking at you and they're saying, you're somebody. You are somebody. They teach you to fall in love with yourself. To love you. If you learn to love yourself, then you can go home and give love away. As long as you don't have love for yourself, there's going to be divorces like there is all over. Because those young people get married and they don't even love themselves yet. And here they are trying to give away to somebody something they don't own. So it ends up in a divorce. You have to first learn how to love yourself, because no matter where you go in the world, you're going to be there. So you've got to love yourself. You've got to have a real good relationship with a person that you can't escape from. The person that you can't escape from, that's who you got to be with all the time, 24 hours around the clock. That's why we as Indian people come up here and we learn things from the mountain that are simple. They're simple, but they're very powerful and they're strong. And we keep on learning them. We keep on learning. First, we get all in one pot and we sit down and we're looking there. And we take it and it says L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I love me. I love you. And that's all it is. There's nothing magic about it. It just teaches you to love yourself. It just teaches you to love yourself. We go down here and we get in the creeks and we take off our clothes when the two elements are fighting. When daylight and nighttime are having an argument as to who's going to win. Just when it's breaking daylight, we have our clothes off. And we're praying to the land of the water people, asking permission to enter their land. Once we go into that land, we face the north. And we ask it to wash away our eyes so that we can only see good things in this world. And we go under. We face the east where all things are born. The sun and the moon are born in the east. And we ask it to wash away our ears so that we can only hear good things that people have to say. Then we face the south. We pray and we go under. Asking it to wash away our mouths so we can only speak good words to people. Then we face the west where all things die. The sun and the moon die in the west. We say, fix today, fix yesterday, and fix today, so that I'm ready for tomorrow. I can't change yesterday. I can't change tomorrow. I don't have enough money or power. But if I lay a real good foundation today, tomorrow might be a better day. Heal my people. Heal my land. Let more people come to places like this and heal their bodies. Let them find out what this is up here in the mountain. And while I'm in that water praying, all of my positive ions are being washed off. And I'm getting negative ions back on. The only thing the human being does not need positive is ions. Overload of positive ions makes you argumentative, suicidal, irritable, just somebody that nobody wants to be around. You turn a 2-year-old child loose in the field, and if there's a mud puddle there, the child will find it. The first thing to do is get in that mud puddle water and they jump up and down. And the parents come over and they say, you stupid, get out of that one. Stay away from there. What's wrong with you? And the child knows if they move that water, they're creating negative ions. Not much, but they have enough knowledge to know that moving water creates something that they need. And they get a spanking for doing it. Plus, getting the mud on themselves protects them from the sun. It protects them from the bugs that are biting me right now. The old days we used to rub mud all over us. And it kept us from getting sunburned. It kept the bugs from getting on us and biting us. And little babies know that. It's instinct. They know it. We go into the mountain, we fast and pray and learn it by swimming. We can get this from the water. You go to the colleges, you go to the cities, and you see any place where there's fountains, water squirting up, you see people sitting there. They go there, they don't know why. If you ask them, why are you throwing money in there? She did. Why'd you throw money in there? Well, he did. Why'd you throw it? She did. Nobody knows why they're giving an offering to that water. But something inside them tells them you have to offer something because you just received negative ions. So these fountains, they give just a little bit but there's enough to draw people to it. And they sit there and they feel that, and they're getting rid of their positive ions. A little bit negative ions are coming on, and they reach in their pocket and they turn around and they throw what they value. Money. They throw money. We come up here and we throw what we value. Our spirit. We say, here I am. Take me. Whichever way you're going to do. In other words, you can take my life. You can do whatever you want with me. I'm here. All I'm here is to learn. So we're saying, my life is in your hands. They're saying, my value is my money. Take it. Thank you, Siam. Thank you for getting this water and putting this on me. We're down here saying, thank you, Siam, for letting me see good in the world. Thank you for letting me hear only good stuff. Thank you for letting me speak only the good words. And thank you for healing. Healing yesterday, so I'm ready for now. Today. By doing this, I'm preparing myself for tomorrow. By doing this, I'm preparing myself for family life. That I'll be somebody worthwhile in my community. If I love me and I'm happy with myself, then I'm going to be an asset to my community. If I sit around with my mouth turned down, looking like I'm having a grumpy contest, you can go around like that, growling at everybody. Everybody in the community avoids you. They say, oh, Jesus, here comes Kenny. Let's go the other way. Don't want to be around him, a grumpy old fart. And people are like that. I mean, they don't like to be around grumpy people. It reminds them of their first grade teachers, their introduction into the school system, where they know they take and put you in school for 12 years. And after the end of 12 years, they very proudly give you the sheepskin, saying, here, we stunted your growth for 12 years. We made you learn how to screw your neighbor before they screw you. We taught you how to go out and make a living and screw anybody to get the job first. It's not out there, let's be a win-win situation. It's out there, dog eat dog, and that's what we're taught in the school system. Yeah, these are all the things that we hear up here in the mountain range. These are the things that we see and we listen to. And we go home and we don't throw it away, we spin it around and we look at it from all angles. And we say it's food for our spirit. We get home and our spirit looks at it and eats at it. And it takes all the best from the spirit world. And it takes all the best from the other world that we have to live in. And we walk with one foot in two worlds. And we take the best from both of them. And we try to give it to our children and to our grandchildren. And we try to give it to our wives or our husbands. So that they know that we're sincere. When we say, I love you, we want them to know that it's real. That it's not just a word that we're trying to get them in bed. It's not just a word that I'm trying to get in their purse, or I'm trying to get their job, or whatever. Sincerely mean, unconditionally, I love you. I don't have nothing to gain by doing it. I just love you. That's what we learn up here. That's what our church, so to speak, teaches us. When we come up here and it's cut down and they say, whoa, where do we go? They cut our church down. They say, well, there's more further up the road. You know? It'd be like going down the corner and jacking the Catholic church up and moving it. Next Sunday they go to church and their church is gone. And they follow the skid marks and they find it. And they have church and we jack it up and move it again. And if we keep moving it and they say, you can't do this, then we'll go to that church over there. You can't, that's a Protestant. What's the difference? It's a church. Church is a church. So it's hard for us to understand. I was talking to one of the fathers there and come over and he was asking me how come I don't go to his church. I said, let me take this styrofoam cup. I had a cup of coffee. Let me go in and trade you. I'll give you the styrofoam cup for that silver goblet. No. He said, you can't do that, and that's why. I said, this styrofoam cup will hold wine just like your silver goblet. He said, but the silver goblet was blessed by the Pope. I said, my forest was blessed by God. I said, but you don't think nothing about taking it down? I said, but the Pope blessed your cup, and you won't trade. When both cups will do the same thing. As in my teachings, I talk not to any of my young people about eating the flesh of God. I don't talk nothing to my young people about drinking the blood of God. In our carvings or our totem poles, we have no place in Indian legends or our poles. They can look back in history far back as they can go. And do they show any place where we have our Creator nailed to a tree? No place. We wouldn't even think of doing that to him. We wouldn't do that to the changer. No place in Indian legends do we harm or speak of harm to the one who is the changer, to the one who made all this for us. So it's hard for us to understand and accept. We say we like it here, it's simple, it's humble, but it's ours. And now there's more people who are starting to look at it and enjoy it and say, this really is something. So I said, let's all join hands. Together we're strong. Our voices are strong. And let's save this in places like it all over the world. Not just here, all over the world. Let's save all this. Let's fight for it. Oh